Hey guys, SeanB, and today we're back into Calibria Crystals Guardian, and in this video I would love to tell you guys the top Nat 3 3-star unit that you can potentially get in the first couple days of playing the game, because the game do provide you with a lot of mystic summon in the early game, so you probably fill up your 3-star Pokédex. Before we go into any of these good units, pay attention to the crafting menu, and there are many Nat 3 that you will need to craft your first Nat 5. The Necromancer will potentially help you a lot in dungeon because he can cleanse the annoying defense break that the boss dungeon give you, and he can also provide AoE stun, and you can actually stun the side tower, which means he shut down the tower, taking away the boss attack buff, defense break, and allow you to do the dungeon much easier. So in that regards, every single Nat 3 that you will need down here to craft the Necromancer is a top tier unit. And how do you recognize them easily? You go to the enhance menu. It will show certain symbol below the unit right here. Let's say I choose my ogre, very lucky me. You can click on the craft info and you see exactly where he belongs. Or if you choose the griffin, you can see the craft info as well. So do pay attention to the symbol below the unit before you enhance, because you don't want to waste the crafting material. Even though they are 3-star unit, you may never come across them again ever, and you will regret not saving them up for the crafting of Necromancer. First element, the Windwalker. This unit allows you to gain turn over your enemy by giving your entire team energy and speed buff. She also allows one unit to gain instant turn, and that is really awesome. It can allow comeback in certain situations where your damage dealer needs to go another turn to get an AoE damage out and then wipe the entire enemy team, or allowing your healer to go immediately to save your team. So she's a very good unit, versatile in both PvE and PvP. Really good unit. Honorable mention to the Holy Cleric. You will probably use her for a very long time if you don't reroll for a healer, or you don't get a strong 4-star healer like the Druid. This is like probably an instant upgrade to your Holy Cleric. Honorable mention to your girl Holy Cleric, your first girlfriend that you probably ditch soon when you find yourself a real man like this. Next element, this one's gonna be a little bit interesting because I have an option that nobody really talk about. In this kind of game, when you're early into the game, you will not have a lot of attack and quick damage in your damage dealer. So one of the best way to deal enough damage to enemy boss is to use damage that scale with the target max HP, which is the Goblin skill 2. He can also bring defense break, which is crucial to killing the boss fast and potentially buff his own attack and crit rate. But the thing is, the Colossus boss will always have attack power buff from the left eye, which means you can potentially steal it, protect your team, and also be a better damage dealer. So I think this guy is amazing for your first Colossus team. But the mainstream top tier, which I also agree, is the Hydra. Another way to do a lot of damage to the boss with shitty stat is to use poison effect. And Hydra skill 1 put out poison for 3 turns. This can also put out poison, or you can go with the passive that prolong the poison effect to put more poison on the boss. Honorable mention to Wood Elemental. This unit, despite being a Nat 2, has very strong skill set for dungeon. Attack debuff in default attack to increase the consistency. Skill 2 that can become a skill that buff attack and defense for 2 turns with only 4 turn cooldown. If you want an upgrade version of that unit, you want to have Yuna, who can also put out attack and defense buff in this skill and attack break in this skill. She put heal block on top with the default attack. But the difference is that you can max skill your Wood Elemental much easier because he's a Nat 2-star. You get this guy all the time. But Yuna, girl, you don't come by too often. So the mainstream will go with Hydra, but your boy enjoys some Goblin Engineer. A good goblin is a goblin that do damage according to target max HP. Last element, we have Mr. Mummy, who is very similar to the Hydra, but all 3 skills can put out poison. However, you can potentially go for the power of death for the extra hit, which is accuracy for you to land your poison much better. So you can reduce the rune requirement for Mr. Mummy, but you can definitely go for all 3 skill poison. Harpy, also very popular amongst player because she have a very strong skill 3. This skill allows you to reduce cooldown and put on speed buff. This significantly reduce the process of having your skill ready. Reduce cooldown by 1 turn for those who have low cooldown is really strong, and allowing the team to move fast to get the cooldown back even faster is a very strong skill. Or you can go with healing and energy boost as well, which is also really strong. This countering chain is very interesting. I think it's going to be annoying to deal with in PvP, or you can use it to your advantage on units that do a lot of damage but not necessarily fast, like let's say Popo. You put this on Popo and then bait the enemy into hitting him. He will revenge and do a lot of different things to the enemy. Honorable mention to Shadow Treant. He has a defense buff for 2 turns that has only 2 turn cooldown, which is kind of broken, to be honest. Default attack that has a chance to blind, and what is this thing? Counter and steal buff from the enemy. So this guy is low-key OP. Attack also dispel all of the enemy buff. Look at that. Isn't that broken? Oh, look at that. Look at that booty though. So that was my top Nat 3 choices. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section. And do you want to know my top Nat 4 choices? We don't talk about LD because I don't think they give you LD summon very often. But we did talk about Necromancer being a very good unit for beginners that you can work towards too. When you build a team with a top Nat 3, you will want to have your damage dealer being the Angel of Death. You guys have this unit right off the bat. If you don't get a strong Nat 5 to start your journey, you'll probably be using this as your main farmer. So she'll be in your dungeon team early on as a main damage dealer as well. But you might want to build the Windwalker because you can get the skill up for Windwalker by farming at the BP heals. And you'll be farming here anyway. So making Windwalker first as a main support is probably a viable option. I'm building my Goblin against the meta of poison because I want to see if this guy is really strong or am I delusional. And next up, I'll be building a healer. Your healer might be the Holy Cleric, but my healer will be the Druid, the direct upgrade to the Holy Cleric. The last unit in my dungeon team probably will be Demonic Swordman for the energy gain with his passive. Also stun, but you can definitely go with the Harpy for the speed buff and the cooldown reduction. So when you build a team, you want to have certain roles that you want to fulfill. For example, damage dealer, support, healer, more damage, more healing. So you have 2 healer, 2 damage dealer, and something that allow your team to move or some sort of extra benefit like cooldown reduction. So this is my team. It might be different to your team. A lot of people run Nat 5 base team because they spend a lot of money, but there are a lot of good units attainable to you. So do pay attention to them. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll be posting more Calibria Crystal Guardian. Bye bye.